I think this group was such a great idea because of all of the people that joined and the ideas that they really brought to it. David really knew how to command their respect and help them work forward towards our goal, and there were so many imaginative ideas coming along to help us come up with the fundraisers and the awareness campaigns for Huntington's. So that's why it was such a good idea and group.
I felt compelled to do something after hearing David's very inspirational speech about Huntington's disease and its effects. One of the hardest parts of this whole experience was probably this pitch for me, because we had to figure out an idea which would get the attention of people, but also raise enough awareness for this disease. Being led by David's been very good. He's a very good leader, and he makes sure everyone has something to do and is a part of this, and not just a bystander. And I feel like this experience has made me closer to other people and a better person.
I decided to join this great cause because when David spoke to us as a cohort, I was very compelled by the fact that there are so many people out there in this world that no one understands what they're going through, and it's such a debilitating disease. I felt it was my duty to get this known out to my generation, as I don't think anyone before this knew what Huntington's disease was and what it did. I loved having David as our leader, as he was a student just like us and knew exactly what we were going through. He didn't give us too much work, but he made sure that we were challenged.
I initially volunteered for this Huntington's campaign thanks to David's middle school muster. I'm sure that loads of boys have already said that, but I mean that was the main driving force for everyone to spark their own interests. And working in a team, engaging with each other, and actively being involved in service learning was a great experience. Not only was it fun, but it was also enlightening, and we also learnt a lot throughout the last term. There were a few challenges. There was sometimes, we got parts wrong, we had to do it again. I think the main challenge throughout the entire process was probably when we were doing the pitches, when we were trying to present ideas and get them past our fellow teammates who were like the judges, if you like. So overall, I enjoyed this experience, and working with David has been great. He's such a great leader. He deserves every single accolade he gets. And so I'd like to thank David, and I'd like to thank all the other boys in the team, because without those guys, none of this would actually happen. So, green light to you guys.
So I was initially asked by David to help out recording. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into until he sent me a massive document about 20 pages over the holidays. I read through some and I realised I was tapping out for Huntington's, and at the time, Mr. Wilson was my history teacher. So I just really wanted to raise awareness around the school and make sure as many people could know as possible, because not many people knew. So I just wanted to basically raise awareness for it. I found it really worthwhile because I would just spend one lunch time a week recording, helping out, put the stuff together. And then finally when we started to sell the donuts, so many people bought, and so many people had the bands around their chest, or the badges on their chest that says Huntington's. That was really cool to see. That's sort of what everyone's hard work had come together, and that was the end product. David was really helpful. I mean, you wouldn't think that year 11 IB student must have enough time to come up with all the ideas he did, with all the lesson plans every week for about a term. But he did, and he put a lot of effort into that, making sure everyone was there, everyone had work to do. And he was just, I can see him doing stuff in the future. He'll be a teacher or something. He's inspirational.
So to be honest, when I first heard about the initiative last year, I wasn't particularly interested in it. But when David came and gave a really, really good speech to the Year 7s and 8s, my interest was really sparked, and when he offered to start a group with the Year 7s and 8s, I was very quick to sign up, and I was really looking forward to the procedure and the ideas that would come forth. And when it did get to that point where we were split into our groups and started formulating ideas, it was really incredible to see the sort of ideas that came out and then were formulated for the pitch. And it was really good to see on the final day everyone working together for this great initiative. And I really hope that there have been some benefits for the community because of the work that we've put in.
The main reason I first joined the Huntington's awareness disease was because of David's very inspiring speech that he first showed to us all about Huntington's. And I felt that when David was organising all of the groups throughout the project, that he did it really well and was able to handle it all really well. One of my favourite activities that we did was making the pitch for Huntington's, as I found that quite interesting and fun.
I initially joined the Huntington's disease student-led initiative because I was influenced by the great speech that David gave at muster, And I also wanted to make a change to the lives of those affected by this debilitating disease. Being led by David was a great experience. He really brought quite a lot of passion to the whole process, and he did what he was meant to do, and he did go further at times. The whole experience was great, and I really enjoyed it.
I joined Huntington's because Huntington's is a horrible disease and more people need to know about it, and it'd be a good opportunity to work with my peers. And David has been a great leader, and he's taught us what we have to do, and he's just done an amazing job throughout this whole process. And yeah, he really should be rewarded for what he's done. Throughout the project, I was in Group 1, and we, instead of working with everyone else, we made our own sort of pitch to throw to the school, and it didn't go through, but it was really good to have our own idea and learn how to make a pitch. Throughout the thing, I felt like I was kind of the leader of our group, and I sort of helped the group come together, and it's definitely a good experience. It was very hard, but very rewarding at the end.
So I first heard of Huntington's disease last year when David, along with former St. student Dallas, started a much smaller initiative, and when the opportunity arose that I could join this project, I was very excited.
I volunteered after hearing about Mr. Wilson, and I wanted to learn more about what happened and trying to help this cause. It was a bit challenging because we needed to build an idea and we needed to make this work. I enjoyed this experience because it's with my friends, and we did lots of things together. And David, he's pretty good as a leader.
I initially volunteered for this Huntington's project because after David's PowerPoint he showed us at a middle school last year, I really thought that I should make a difference and choose this just to change people's lives. And now I'm currently not regretting that any, because it was very fun and challenging, and I truly feel like we spread the awareness of Huntington's around the school. Like I said before, it was very fun throughout the thing and very challenging at the same time. And also having David as an inner teacher in charge really made us feel not as pressured to do things and made us a lot more enjoyable.
I was amazed by the group's passion, motivation, and just how much they wanted to contribute to the project. This was not actually obligatory to do. I think that overall, David, the group, and everyone doing the project has put in so much effort into it, because that's how motivated to serve others they are, to find a way that they can really make a difference in the school's community.
I volunteered for Huntington's disease on the back of David's inspiring speech in term 2. It really showed me that no matter what age, you can still make a huge difference. A particular highlight for me this journey was the athletics day itself. It was really good knowing the actual physical making a difference of each bottle or each donut sold. You know that you're helping someone somewhere or helping research.
The reason why I joined Huntington's Disease Awareness Group is to spread awareness, because not many people know about this disease, so I wanted more people to know about this. One of the biggest challenge for me was probably the pitch that we had to make and a business advertisement. I'm not really good at public speaking, so I actually managed to conquer one of those fears. And yeah.
I joined this campaign because David's speech, along with just the will to do something good for other people, really just inspired me and led me to joining this group. And we all just linked together from that day, from that speech of his. It was just amazing how much everyone cared about other people and did this for them. And it was certainly the highlight of my year.
I initially joined to get more involved in more co-curricular activities, but as we moved forward, I became more interested in the subjects. I have learned a lot about Huntington's disease and its causes and how to, fundraise in general. It was very challenging at first, but as we moved forward, it got easier.
After meeting someone with Huntington's, I saw the effects it really had on his life, and I could see how it really affects his family, his friends, and how worrying it would be for them. I felt after seeing that compelled to really help him. And I obviously could see everyone else in the group felt the same way, which is why everyone in the group was so motivated and persistent to really make sure they made a difference for people with this disease, especially since it wasn't a very well-known one.
I joined this Huntington's committee because I wanted to help the people that were suffering from this disease, and also David's speech and muster also inspired me to do it. It was definitely challenging working with 4 other people in the group, but after all, we're still a group and we collaborated to work together on different tasks. I really think that this journey was worthwhile, and even though it was challenging, I think I got through it really well, and it was good working in the team, so yeah.
Well, I initially volunteered because I really wanted to know what Huntington's meant, because I'd never heard the word before, and I also was really inspired by David's speech at the middle school muster. That drove me along to join the Huntington's campaign. The other reason why I also wanted to join was because of service learning. I wanted to carry my service learning to a higher level in St. Peter's.
Well, the reason that I volunteered myself to do the Huntington's awareness is because I wanted to have a first-hand experience on what service learning is like at Saints, and I thought that joining a group that was led by another student in the senior school would give me the best experience of what it was like.
I was part of the filming and audio crew in the Huntington's Disease Awareness Group that ran weekly sessions on a Thursday. Thanks to the hard work and commitment by David Quan, the boys have grown in their sense of the debilitating disease and also in their sense of business and enterprise. I look forward to seeing where the boys go in their future stages of life, and I would like to personally thank David for his commitment and his time.
I initially volunteered with Huntington's disease because I wanted to help other people with Huntington's disease to make their life better and to help them and their families get through with the disease.
I initially volunteered for the Huntington's Disease Awareness Group because I never actually had an opportunity to do some service learning, plus the opportunity to help something that is really detrimental to us at St. Peter's, with a member of our community already experiencing and suffering from this disease. I actually had a great experience with Huntington's disease and the committee. It really taught me how to be entrepreneurial, and I found out many things. It really taught me the concepts of entrepreneuring, and I found that with help from my fellow teammates, I could construct a quality and ultimately effective program which we could run as the group.
The Huntington's disease program was a really great program run by David, and everybody who participated really enjoyed it, and I think that the Huntington's Awareness Group has done a really good job in raising awareness for such a debilitating disease, and people out there can know that there are other people in this world who work towards the goal of having Huntington's as a recognised disease, and people can understand the pain that families go through and what the patient goes through. So I think that everybody in this group has done a really good job in putting countless hours of effort to help raise awareness for such a debilitating disease.
Okay. Well, I was really impressed with the level of engagement that all the participants showed throughout the program, and I think David did a really good job at making it incredibly engaging, and to see these young people stepping out of their comfort zone and participating in all of the things they did throughout, I thought was really encouraging. So yeah, well done, David, that's fantastic.
So I think from my perspective, one of the most pleasing observations of the Huntington's Awareness campaign that was led by David was the engagement and leadership of the boys themselves. It was very much a student-driven initiative. David, on the back of the Day Foundation scholarship, really wanted to ensure that any impact that he was going to have was decided upon and driven by the boys themselves. Initially, when David came to me, he spoke about potentially involving 6 to 9 middle years boys, and after I'd spoken with all of the year 7 and 8 boys, there was an overwhelming response where there was, within a couple of days, a couple of dozen boys who were keen to be involved. And David and I sat down and we spoke about the potential of involving all of the boys. Service learning is a significant element of the experience that we want all our middle years boys to be able to take away with them as they move into the senior years, and so to have so many boys putting their hand up to be part of something that had the potential to be so special and so unique with the cause that they were supporting in Huntington's and the way that the boys were speaking about potentially raising awareness and indeed raising some money. I thought that if we could involve everyone who wanted to be involved, it would be a really special opportunity for them all. I was most impressed with David's flexibility and his willingness to consider having all the boys involved from the outset. That turned out to be a great decision. as all of those boys brought completely different experiences, ideas, values, and personal circumstance and situations into the campaign. So from my observations, it was hosted primarily in the Pentreth. I was kept in the loop through all of David's emails, many emails, daily, late at night, early in the morning, and I was privy to the conversation that went back and forth between the boys. And from the outset, it was astounding, the level of commitment, the number of ideas, the enthusiasm that all the boys had for the campaign. And I think one of the most impressive things about the way that David managed the whole process was he sought the input of the boys from the get-go. He had a general idea as to what he wanted to achieve with his campaign around awareness and indeed fundraising. But he really sought buy-in and ownership from the boys involved from the beginning, and he had, I guess, the foresight to allow what the project looked like to be driven by those who were involved. And because of that, he probably took quite a different path to what he'd been planning prior to the initiative getting off the ground. So the way that he was able to involve those boys to get input, ownership, and have the flexibility to allow the boys to drive the initiative, I thought was really, really powerful. The fact that we've come out the end of it with significant impact for the boys who were involved, significant impact for the community around raising awareness, and also substantial fundraising result, I think is credit to the work of David, to the leadership of David, to the commitment, enthusiasm and empathy of the boys, to the genuine desire of this group to give to the community, to provide support for those who are afflicted by Huntington's, or who have family and friends who are affected by the disease. It was a truly remarkable campaign, fully invested in by all those who were involved, and I congratulate David and Kerry Scoogens, all of the boys who were involved for a wonderful initiative. And I guess the challenge now is there, particularly for those boys who are involved, to take and to grow those learning experiences more broadly, to hang on to that sense of empathy that was clearly fostered and developed, to hang on to that feeling of what it's like to contribute to those members of the community who in some ways are perhaps less fortunate than ourselves, and to do that in partnership with others, and to continue to have that as a significant pillar in their own lives, I think is a really powerful outcome, and certainly a great challenge for all those who are involved. Thanks to you all. Did a wonderful job, and very proud that I was able to play certainly just a very small part in being able to facilitate the campaign.
Hi, I'd like to say a few words about the middle school's awareness group, Huntington's HD awareness group, which have done some amazing things at St. Peter's College over the past term and a half. The boys who were involved, first of all, have produced a mountain of work. This wasn't just a get together and a chat. There was a lot of very focused work produced by the group around ideas that they had to recognise the disease within the school, to explain it to other people, and then really spread the word beyond the school community as well. There was a lot of great ideas, and the ideas themselves, never mind the work that was produced, reflected very positively on the intelligence of this group and the commitment of this group. Hugely impressive, and as a teacher of many years now, it's very rare that you would see a group that is entirely voluntary, willing to take on such a significant workload for such a good cause. So the group itself were quite frankly incredible, and they weren't hand-picked. It was basically a volunteer group that David Quan collected together early in term 2, and then they set about discussing ideas, discussing empathy generally, and then ideas around Huntington's awareness and what they might do as a group within school and within the school community to raise that awareness, and even to raise funds as well. So what they did along the journey and what they came up with at the end was a huge credit to every single boy that was involved, and actually to the middle school as a whole as well, and how the middle school got together and really embraced this cause was unforgettable. The end product was, a real focus on our sports day, the sale of donuts and Powerade in that Huntington's blue colour, just to get the message across. It was a great idea. The sales were great on the day, and awareness was raised across not just the boys within the school, but all the parents who attend our sports day and teachers as well. It was a fantastic, huge success. Of course, at the end of the day, the weeks, the months, at the end of this whole project, one person in particular was an absolute standout, and that was David Quan, who led the group from start to finish. It was his idea entirely. This was not something that was driven by teachers within the school at all. It was his idea entirely, his time that he committed entirely, and at the end of the day, the work that was produced was quite superb, thanks to his leadership. To be quite honest, I can't think of all my years of teaching of a boy who's taken on board such a major task and carried it out so responsibly and maturely. There's no doubt that we're looking forward to hearing great things about David Quan in the future. He is a remarkable young man, and empathy is something that is understandably a focus of his, because he has so much empathy himself for so many other people. Incredibly mature young man, mature beyond his years in many regards, but this group were very fortunate to be able to work with him, and I know they enjoyed every minute of it thoroughly. Of course, the final thing to mention is the outcome. This Huntington's awareness was because a member of our staff, Mr. Ben Wilson, is suffering from a disease, and he had a function raising. We all organised a function raising event this weekend, and I explained to Mr. Wilson exactly how this project had gone, and he was amazed. He was amazed at the amount of commitment from the boys in the school, and to be honest, he was quite emotional in his response to just how much this group of boys had done for him and the disease and the cause that he's fighting admirably and courageously as well. So that was a kind of really nice end to the whole journey that we've had with this Huntington's awareness campaign. To see Mr. Wilson was so appreciative at the end of all the work that these fantastic group of boys have done. It's been a real pleasure and a privilege as a teacher to have a slight involvement and to witness everything come together so well. Well done, boys. Well done to everyone. And particularly well done to David Quan. Thank you.
I've always aspired to shape my leadership around positive influence and service to other people. So I was really inspired by Mr. Wilson's courageous fight against this debilitating disease. I'm truly grateful to have had an opportunity to lead an incredibly talented, hard-working and respectful group of middle year students. Boys, you should all be extremely proud of the awareness we've raised and the positive difference we've made for everyone who is affected by Huntington's disease. I've really enjoyed working with you all, and I hope we've forged a meaningful relationship that will continue for the years to come. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for a job well done. To Mr. Murray, Doc White and Mr. Tamblin, I sincerely appreciate your trust in me, and I thank you for your guidance and expertise. To Ms. Scoogens, Mr. Inman and Mr. Borges, your help and support throughout this process has been instrumental, and I thank you for your time and commitment. A special mention must also go to Tom Spiby, Charlie Morton, Edward Andrade and Tom Grozer for their support in the filming of the sessions. Of course, last but not least is Mr. and Mrs. Day and the Day Family Foundation. Your compassion and benevolence has inspired me and empowered me to make a positive difference in my community, and I hope you're pleased to see the progress that we've achieved as a group. On behalf of everyone involved, we'll sincerely like to thank you for your generous support. The times I've spent preparing and implementing this awareness campaign has been a life-changing experience. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity.